yeah, I'll click the button and say, yo, what up? How's it going, YouTube? Haven't done a MHACCG Tam Talk in quite a while, but we have a fairly big event happening this upcoming weekend. It is Worlds. It is Worlds. The Worlds that 32 best players get to play in. And for those 32 players, if you're not a part of those 32 players, they do have what are called side events. And so what I want to do is today on stream, live over on twitch.tv, I'm making a tier list about what are the best common ground characters to bring to the event and why I think that these common ground characters are good. I'm recording this on the Monday before the main event, and as a small sneak peek to all my people over on Twitch, on Wednesday, the only piece of that I'm going to stream is I'm going to go through the entire set of Set 4 that has been previewed to talk about what your ideas, tactics, and strategy should be for the pre-release coming up. So, with that spoiler out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I've got 85 characters that I get to talk about when it comes to Common Ground. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and get rocking. Let's make this all just a little bit smaller. I think we can do this. Yeah, we can put this in the bottom corner. And I think that this is fine. Let's do this with it. Hey. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so let's start off nice and easy with what do my different tier lists look like, okay? As well as what is Common Ground. So Common Ground is very, very simple. In the My Hero Academia collectible card game, the way that it works is we have different types of rarities of cards. Whenever you open up a pack of 10 cards, you get mostly, I don't know the exact numbers, you get mostly cards that have a little C on the bottom that says common. The next, I think it's like 6 commons, and then 3 ultra rares, and then 1 rare, 6 commons, 3 uncommons, and then 1 rare or ultra rare. So, what this Common Ground event is we are only allowed to play with commons or uncommons. We get no rares. We get no, you're right, Jenna. We get no rares. We get no ultra rares. We get no promo cards. We get no starter deck cards. So the Midoriya and Bakugo rival decks are out, and so are the Eraserhead 2 and Endeavor starter decks. Out. We cannot play them. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to talk in general. About like what my tiers stand for. If they go in A tier, they're a pretty good pick to pick for Common Ground. They've got a decent enough winning strategy, and it's kind of written on their face how it works, and it'll make sense as we go. B is fine pick. They're not like the top of the world, but like we'll probably have a winning record as long as you have like an average day. C is a tough pick. It's things that you're gonna have to grind and work really hard in order to make happen. It's not obvious exactly how you get that victory. And then D is a bad pick. This character relies too much on their ultra rares or the card pool that you have selected just isn't quite good enough. And so I'm just going to go through and I'm going to give my just initial opinions on where I think characters get to lie, strictly based on the strength of the character alone and knowing what I know about like the commons and uncommons in my hero. With that said, I am not pulling up UVS Ultra at all during this. The only time I'll do it is if I have to like read a character and make them a little bit and understand them a little bit stronger. But I'm not gonna go look at what's every common or uncommon under the Earth symbol or the All symbol or the Void symbol. I'm not interested in that. I'm just gonna give it here's just like a throwing cards at the wall and see what's up. And so now with the introduction out of the way, let's talk about All Might. Okay. All Might, I think, hilariously, All Might 1 is a bad pick. I think this character kind of lives and breathes off of 2 cards. Pull No Punches, which is a rare, and Detroit Smash, which is an ultra rare. I think that's the main way to make this guy work. And so I feel like you can get away with it, right? He probably could exist in this tough pick category. But I think that he doesn't quite get enough value in doing the thing that he wants to do. So I think bad pick is probably where I'm going to put him. Endeavor 2, giving speed and damage buffs is great. giving speed and damage reductions is great. But my real question here is, how does he end the game? I'm not exactly positive. I think he's a total fine pick on this list. I think he's totally fine. Gran Torino. Now, we got 85 of these characters, so I'm going a little quick. And Chad, if you guys want to talk to me and talk about some discourse about some of the characters that I'm picking and like where they're going, let me know. So here's my issue. I think Gran Torino in an event like this is like kind of good. I think the only issue that we have here is I don't know how he actually finishes the game. I think he's if he had some access to some more bombs, I think he's a total fine pick. I think Torino is a tough pick exclusively because we don't get the like Bakugo 1 foundations under the air symbol. We don't get the Midoriya 1 foundations under the good symbol. We don't get Eraserhead's stuff under the void symbol, and so we're losing a bunch of stuff. It's interesting. It's interesting. I think that for Common Ground, I think that he just doesn't quite have the tools that he wants to finish the game. I think he can make a really cool deck for him, but I just don't think it's good enough. I'm gonna do this. You ready? There we go. Midoriya. Okay. Midoriya 2, I think, is in an interesting spot. I think Midoriya 2's kit, just his own moves, are good, are really good. Giving +1/+3 is fantastic, and the chance of him getting backswung is significantly lower. I think that he's a good pick. The only issue that I have is he loses the Midoriya 1 starter deck. He doesn't get passing. He doesn't get the note taking. He doesn't get all those. And the big thing is he doesn't get good Sherlock. He doesn't get draw, which I think might be the biggest issue. So I think I'm gonna put him as a fine pick because +1 +1/+3 is like a good exchange rate, right? I think I'm here for it. Denki 1. So I want to be open and honest. I think Denki 1 is a great pick. Denki 1 is the character that I'm going to be playing for Common Ground. I have a list. I think his character is incredible in this format. His selective committal of my opponent's defensive tools choice, and he actually has bombs under his 3 symbols. I think Chaos is going to be incredible in Common Ground, and I think a lot of people should be playing Common Ground, right? I think he's really good, and that's the character that I'm going to be playing. So there's that. Eraserhead 2. So Eraserhead 2 is interesting. Eraserhead 2 is interesting because if we allowed starter decks, I think he'd also be up here in this good pick category. But because we can't pick them, I think this character is incredible in sideboards. And I think that I'm going to put him in the tough pick. Taking away the abilities on your commons and uncommons is good, right? If I can figure out what the best common or uncommon you have, and I just like strip that card away and make it blank, I think I'm down. Most commons and uncommons have what, maybe 1-2 abilities, even taking 50% of it, right? Tack-Possum says remove Jab's ability. That's a great commit cost. That's a really, really good commit cost. I love it. Bakugo 2. This is a bad pick. There's just not enough Fury powerful moves to make him really worth it. He doesn't get access to Howitzer Impact Cyclone. He doesn't get access to Nitro Explosion Ignition. He doesn't get access to Instant Explosive Release. He doesn't get access to all of the starter deck cards. And so this character like just isn't playable, really. Kirishima 1. Kirishima 1. So I think Kiri 1 has a place, and I think he's actually better than these two characters. Playability wise, I think that there's stuff that Kirishima 1 can do in this format. And probably this might be the format that like he gets to like really thrive. My big issue with the character is I don't think that he can win the tournament because I don't think that he's going to be winning very many games. I think if he loses, I think you have to have a perfect record with Kirishima 1 because I think like the main way to play him in Common Ground is to just deck people out, right? Use things like Confused and Jab and all of this to like try and remove cards from the game. I don't see him being consistent enough to make work. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him the tough pick, but easily he could just be slammed down here, and I would not feel bad in the slightest. Hatsume. Assets. The asset that she wants to play is a rare. If they made that asset an uncommon, we're here. Box Full of Babies is... Box Full of Babies is just not a card you can play in the format, so it's over. Eraserhead 1. Now, this is a character we can get behind. Eraserhead 1 is obviously a good pick. This character says +2 or -2 speed. He says that your Common Ground character just doesn't get to work. And he says that I'm down to hit you with a bunch of mediocre moves, and he makes them better because of discarding the erase action. So you just discard erase and then pull it back up, and discard erase and pull it back up. It's incredible. It's very, very good. Under all three of his symbols, I think that there's probably something that you can do in order to like make stuff happen. Coda. So Coda's interesting because in this you get access to the ectoplasm clones, and ectoplasm clones in Coda is kind of good by like drawing a bunch of cards. I actually think that Coda's a fine pick for the Common Ground event. But you do have to like play all 8 copies of this pretty bad card as like your main strategy. So like he's somewhere between fine and tough. He's somewhere here, and I'm gonna leave him in fine for now, strictly because I think that it's form draw 3 in this format might be good enough to just like make your character relevant on defense, and he's a 627, and like committing the card to say you don't like he's got moves. He certainly has moves, right? Ashido's interesting because when there's that idea in The Incredibles, right, where if everybody is super, then nobody is, but if nobody's super, then everybody is, it lifts everybody else up a little bit, right? Like there's the opposite mentality, and that's what's happening with Mina. I think a slim 50 card Mina deck, as tough as it is playable. I think that you can play Mina in Common Ground, and I think that you'll have fun. I don't think you're winning the tournament. I don't know what you do against characters like this, or even characters like this. Like this, like these top 5 that we're already seeing is like just way better. But for Mina, the burn is nice. Having face downs not count is nice. The only thing we're really losing here is uppercut, but like 4xing her common and uncommon attacks like feel good. I'm probably in the same realm of Kirishima 1 as giving her a little bit too much credit, but I'm going to put him here just so that these two characters don't have to be in D tier for their entire life forever. Tokoyami. I mean, obviously. Tokoyami is just like a good-ass character. The fact that the action is an uncommon, and you just get to go find it, and he turns your common and uncommon moves into things that aren't common or uncommon, which is why the same thing is Ojiro. Ojiro just puts 3/3 on all your moves. Defense is going to be a little bit lighter because really good defensive cards are tough to come by, and so I think like this is a surefire way to play the game. The reason that I'm playing Denki is because I'm playing Tokoyami in the main event, and I didn't want to play Tokoyami twice. But these two cards are like exactly the same idea of, oh, I just play good ass moves, and then they do a lot of the heavy lifting because of what their deck does. Up next, we've got Shoji 2, excuse me. I think that Shoji 2 is a fine pick, and here's why. I think remove 4 counters to perfect block a thing is good. His window shopping is a common or uncommon, I believe. That's not a rare, right? His attack I know is a rare, but his foundation is not. And so I think that you can make some stuff happen with this character, but I think that there's so many other characters that just do this job slightly better that I just don't think that you're going to, if that makes sense. Sero. I think Sero's also a fine pick. He doesn't have access to the best attack that in his deck, which is the Tape Swing, right? Like, if he just had Tape Swing, like, if everyone just allowed their own Ultra Rare, we could easily toss him here. But it's very easy to get unlucky with Sero or misjudge the zone change, and you don't get access to things like Think Fast, like Water and Chaos. I think are the two best symbols in common ground, I think. And so, like, I am a fan of seeing, like, what this character can do, and as Sherlock points out, flooding a zone in this format is going to be crazy. You're right until you're wrong, because flooding a zone in the regular format, in I almost said the word standard, in My Hero, is crazy until it's not. And so I think that's why I'm going to pick him as a fine pick. I think he doesn't quite have the offensive tools that he could want. Sato 2. First form, draw 2 cards. At the end of your turn, discard 2 cards. Enhance, if I've drawn 2 or more cards, I get +2 damage. This character is interesting. I think this character is a bad pick. And not because he is a quote-unquote bad character, but because of the options that he has available to him. What I mean by that is, I think this character might have to just, like, live and breathe off of what ultra rares do and what promo cards do. And so that's where I think that this character is going to fall short as a bad pick. Let's do Ochako 3. Ochako 3, I think, is a fine pick. Getting to recycle your cool moves, getting a plus to your check, cycle drawing on both offense and defense. I think it's all great. I think the 25 health is less of an issue because things hit a little less hard, as long as you, like, don't count these guys, and some others that I'm sure we'll get to. I think that this is a fine pick if you want to. The question is what's your attack lineup look like? Because you don't get things like double jab, pummel, and stuff like that. But you still get things like Zero Gravity Lift. Zero Gravity Lift is a great card. So there's the real question: is what do you do there? Stain 2. My question is how does Stain kill people without things like Blood Moon Rending? How does Stain kill people without Slashing Whirlwind at the end of a string? That's my question. I think the control that Stain has in his response Frieza thing is good, but there's, like, other things that we can do besides that. I'm going to put him as a tough pick because I think he's so reliant on the weapon keyword, and your weapons are just, like, so cut in half, especially with, like, oh, I want to play him under the Void symbol. I'll play a bunch of Eraserhead stuff. Oh, I guess I don't get to do that now? So there's that. Let's move on to 13. Bad pick. How does she kill people? If you can figure out how 13 kills people, she's up here, right? Because she's a control character. 13. Is Death Arms considered a promo for this? From my understanding of how it works, characters are excluded from the promo exclusivity. That is how my understanding. And I'm going to rate those promo characters either way. And so all you have to know is, like, that you just don't get to play that if that's just how it works. But yeah, I think this character just doesn't know how to kill people. I think she needs rares and ultra rares in order to make that happen. So I wouldn't bother with this character. You can maybe sideboard her, in order to figure out, in order to, like, help stay alive and run up the clock. Shigaraki 3. Shigaraki 3 is interesting because all the cool things to do with your momentum are rares or higher. And so, like, it's either tough pick or bad pick. I'm going to go with tough because EX is on a lot of things. And truthfully, he's a 7-hand size chaos character that has access to Palm Strike, the 5 mid for 3 Dobby common or uncommon that flip the top 3, grab a momentum. I mean, as long as you can find some amount of speed on that or play that at the end of a chain, like Chaos, Death, and Fire can kill people because they just have like a bunch of they've got a 5 diff, 5 mid for 3, right? He still gets Jolt, which is pretty neat. Yeah. I think it's a tough pick because I think there's just like better things that you could be doing here with this, right? All right. Let's talk about Shoto 2. I think that Shoto 2 is a good pick for this event. I think Shoto 2 being able to recycle his water attacks. I think Shoto 2 being able to utilize things like Wall Cling is very good. Wall Cling is going to be MVP of that whole tournament. It's so good. I am excited to see what this character can do with it, and I think he's playable under all 3 of his symbols, depending. But I think Wall Cling is going to be incredible. Midoriya is a bad pick for this event. You're losing his entire starter deck, his entire kit, and the main thing you lose is just passing, right? You lose passing, you lose things like Texas, you lose things like Heroic Strike, and so like you lose Back Alley Haymaker, right? like a lot of these punch decks are losing so much strictly because they are so reliant on the things that come out of this kit, as well as Midoriya 2's kit, as well as All Might 1's kit. Like there's your punch package right there, and they're all rares or better. So I just don't think that the punch package works in Common Ground. Toru 2. Fake speed is great. Canceling a move is great. I think this is a fine pick for the tournament. Again, all you have to do... Erase is legal? Yes, erase is legal. All you have to do... erase is like an uncommon. All you have to do with this character is figure out how to kill people. Whether that's just like playing a bunch of throws or weird zone overload or whatever, or wait till deadlock and put a ton of deadlock pressure on. I think this character is a fine pick to play. Stain 1. So I'm gonna get lambasted here. I think Stain 1 is actually not a terrible pick in this because the extra speed that he gives, the extra burn that he gives, he has access to Jolt to turn on his response. Response, discard one of my opponent's cards is good when the entire card quality is down, right? And so I think that this is I think this might be where this character like gets to shine. Because Stain can kill people eventually because of the increased speed, increased damage, and all that jazz. Dobby. So I think that Dobby is I think I just said that Wall Cling is the best card. I'm confused. That is the reason that I'm stuck on Dobby. I think that people are going to be playing more answers to throws because of cards that I haven't gotten to on the list yet. And so I think that when you have, first off, I think +3 to all your moves is incredible. It's very similar to like what Ojo's got going on. And then if you can activate the once per game and there are less options for my rival to cancel it, it feels good. Dobby isn't looking for any specific ultra rares to run in order to make his game plan work. And so I think that this character is decent enough to make it happen. My big issue is I am nervous about like trading with Gunhead, right? Trading with Gunhead just existing and it being a really good option for a lot of characters. It's just gonna look at this character and be like, you don't have that once per game. So like if you can play around your opponent's outs to this, I think this character's gonna be really good for you. Or if they just decided not to play the outs, right? Bakugo 1, not a character. Again, he just lost his entire kit. Like half of his power is in a secret rare, an ultra rare from set 3, and then a starter deck. And so like this is not really a character. Endeavor 1. I think Endeavor 1 is a fine pick, if not good pick. The games are going to go longer. And the longer the games go, the more damage that this character gets to play. He just gets to swing harder. And so I think that I'm gonna leave Endeavor 1 in good pick, because like being able to, for the same reason that Todoroki exists, getting to recycle your coolest, bestest card might be enough to just get you there. It's here or here. Like all three of these could either be in good pick or fine pick. And I think it just really it just depends on like what's going to be at the tournament, you know. But I think they have the tools in the format of Common Ground to make it happen. What do you do? What do you do in Common Ground? What do you do in Common Ground? I still just don't think there's enough ally support in order to make it happen. But things like Chariot Advance or Cavalry Charge or whatever that card's called, the ally charge tech card or whatever, that might be good enough to have happen. Plus, like, he's got his own stuff. I don't know. I'm going to put him in tough pick for the same... I'm going to put him right next to this crew right here. This is the only chance they might have to not be at a D tier. So I'm gonna leave him there just to give him the hope. Sarah 1? The character's insane in this format. I commit 1 for you to commit 1. Gotcha's a hell of a drug. The only downside to it is the fact that it can't be fixed is still a card that exists in the format. But giving any of your moves +3 speed is similar to like why we play Ojiro. But this guy says +3 speed and draw 1. He's got a bit of a killing problem because he doesn't get things like Tongue Whip, but his own tape stream jab works. Getting access to the Fire Hydrant card is good. Yeah, there's some schmoves that Sarah 1 gets, Sarah 2 gets to play. Toga, this character's insane. All of the good life attacks that she wants to play under Throga are just there for her. She gets to like just 4x Knife Slice, 4x all of the throws. There are so many life throws. It's insane. It's insane how many life throws there are. And Carbo loading is there. And so this is the reason, right? Why I'm down to do this. Because this exists. This is a throw deck. It's going to be all over the place. And so you just have to like kill them fast, which is why I'm playing Denki. You just have to kill them fast. And then they have access to Walkling. They just do. And so like they have access to Walkling. They have access to Carbo loading. Like this deck doesn't change. The only thing that you're missing is like a couple of rares. And Excited for Blood. They don't get Excited for Blood, which means they don't get like insane value. Shinzo. Do we have Future Charge? You do not have Future Charge. Shinzo. No starter deck cards, no promos cards, no rares, no ultra rares. Shinzo. Shinzo's interesting. I think Shinzo might be a fine pick. Because giving all your moves +2 speed is like good. Forcing them to play weird cards or into their turn is good. My question is like, why would I play Shinzo if I can play Eraserhead? There's my biggest issue. So I think I'm gonna put him in a tough pick because my brain is not showing me exactly like, yo, what's the game plan? What do we have here? All right. I put others in good pick because of speed. Why not Shinzo? Because Shinzo's other ability is just like not very useful, right? Shinzo's other ability is like it's so skill intensive that and sometimes you just like response commit, do nothing, do not care about it. And that's why I think the RNG of this this guy should not have had order. He should have had chaos because of how random that response is. Yubara. I don't know what low attacks we get, and I think that's the biggest issue. Most of the big bombs, the big finishers that Yubara gets are rares or promos or higher, and so I'm a little unsure where to put this. I think it's the answer is tough pick. I'm gonna put it in tough pick strictly because I don't know the card pool well enough to tell you what commons and uncommon low attacks there are to cheat at the end, right? Like maybe if she had access to things like the back alleys at the end or whatever, we could maybe talk about it. Jiro. I think Jiro is one of the big losers in this format. Actually, I think Jiro actually loses pretty hard. I think Jiro might actually be in kind of a tough pick situation because a lot of her like really, really good things come from rares or better or come from promo, right? Like when we look at the air deck, like her best attack unequivocally is specialized sound waves. We don't get that. We don't get the promo of the home run comet, home run comet is the rare pillar swing, right? We don't get pillar swing. We don't get home run comet. When we look at the good build, we don't get staff strike. Yeah, I think she actually might just be a bad pick. You could play like a throw deck with her, right? It's like foundation, charge throw, ship it, just send it. But I think that she's actually like just like not a good choice for this specific format. Monetto. Monetto's interesting. You don't get his rare, which the more that I play against Monetta, that is one of if not the card that I hate the most is his dumb rare. His 4 mid for 6 stun 1 draw card gains throw. That card's cracked in this character. And he doesn't get it. He doesn't get sticky balls. He doesn't get things like howitzer. He doesn't get things he doesn't get a lot of stuff. And some of the best answers to Monetta are commons uncommons. I think that Monetta is a fine pick. I think he's a fine pick. I like Death. I think Death has a lot of momentum manipulation, right? Specifically to like one of my favorite cards in this format right now is just the Blue Flame Palm Strike. Just getting to just like slam momentum is so good. And so like him getting that is like it's good. Yeah, he's either here or here, right? I'm not 100% sold. Monoma. I think Monoma is the definition of sideboard tier in this format. Monoma's foundation is insane. I think being able to steal other people's foundations might be what's good about this character, truthfully. And wanting to 4x that card in your deck, it feels incredible. So I think this character deserves to be in your sideboard a ton, truthfully, just a ton. I think that he is probably just a tough pick, though. Because he, like, doesn't get the punch package, and that's how... Or I guess he could just, like, play this same life throw package that Toga plays, and then just, like, steals your thing. So, like, it's a maybe. You know, I'm gonna put him as fine pick. Actually, thinking about the life train. I think that I'm down for this thing to happen. I think I'm into it. Present Mike 2. Nobody's gonna be playing smaller decks. If we were playing 40 card decks, I could see us maybe pushing him up here somewhere, right? But nobody's gonna be playing smaller decks than normal, right? The response once per game is fine. I just don't know how this guy kills people. It's weird. Moneta 1. I actually like Moneta 1 as a character a lot. I think Moneta 1 is really, really cool. I actually want to put him in tough pick, if maybe not fine pick. And here's the reason. Enhance, put this thing speed to 0, stick it there, good. Response on block, you commit a foundation, good. If you have blocked +2 damage to everything, good. The question is under these 3 symbols, can he get the job done? He gets access to Eat My Sticky Balls. He gets access to all the card pool flooding. But the question is does this character do what this character does but worse? Or maybe you just play Sarah 1 and sideboard Moneta 1 under both Order and Water so that you can slam something to 0 and block it? Maybe that's the answer, right? I'm not 100% positive to be truthful. Like, this character in Common Ground versus this character in Common Ground says we get to block the third, if not fourth move, right? Like it's good. I think I'm actually gonna put Moneta in this fine pick because I think he's got real legs in this format. Ida. If I have a momentum, I get a momentum. Enhance, re-ready a card. I think he's either bad or tough because the good EX cards all are shiny. They're just all promos or ultra rares or rares. Like the Extendo Hair deck doesn't work. Yeah, I think he's probably just a tough pick. I mean, you get things like Jolt. I don't know. There's probably just like a better thing to be doing with what this guy wants to do on just a different character. Maybe like a Grand Arena or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'll leave him in tough pick for now, but he might get dropped down to bed. Tetsu. I think Tetsu is a fine pick, if not good pick. Getting +4 damage is good. Is very good. The question is how many throws can we put it on? The best throw to put it on, we don't get access to with reverse throw. We also don't get... Yeah, I think he's actually... This is tough. He also loses the draw power on his best symbol, which is good. Maybe he has a tough pick. I just think that his put this thing's damage to 1 is just so incredible. It's really, really strong. But I think that this is going to be more of a string format than an OTK format anyways, so like maybe not. I'm going to put him here. For now. Common Ground? This character sucks. This character needs stuff to happen. The best weapons to pick up, unless you're just like pick up knife slice every turn, right? In which case we get to do this, I guess. 7 low for 5 is just like, is good, I guess, right? And then I was like, remove that committed foundation, grab my knife slice, and it's like, just pray. You don't get access to the asset. You don't get access to whatever. Yeah, this character's not quite good enough. Nomu. I mean, this is everybody's first thought when they go to Common Ground. Oh, how do I win the game? Oh, I just give everything +4 or 5 damage. Oh, how do I not lose the game? I take everything and make it 6 damage. Character's nuts. Character's so good. Ochako 1? I think Ochako 1 is a fine pick. The main 2 ways you want to play this character are her rare and her ultra rare. I don't know what, and that's under 2 of her symbols, right? Under air and life. I don't know what I don't know what Chaos does. I don't know what Chaos does for this character in particular. It's cool getting to snap jolts. I think I'm a believer in fine pick, but she easily could find herself into good pick if Chaos, if any of these symbols have a good card that they want to reuse that isn't the throw, right? So I'm gonna leave her here for now. Ingenium. Your EX or Slam gets +3, and then respond 3 speed if stuff I ready cards. I think this character probably just deserves to be in tough for the same reason that his brother's in tough. The EX cards we normally want to do this on, EX and Slams normally are rares or higher, right? I can't think of any Slams off the top of my head that are just like commons or whatever. I can't think of any because they're so uncommon. Yeah. Todoroki 2? Or Todoroki 1, sorry. I think with the existence of this character, like in the format, I think this character is a little tough to get behind. But I think like your classic water stuffing, well, we lose access to more throws. Guess I say no to wall cling. I still think that's not good enough in this format. What does this guy do against this guy? This guy says that now on the turn that Ojiro is still going to kill you because bad players aren't going to be bad, you flip over your student of the art to commit my opponent's character. That's pretty good. Oh. Yeah, I think that the lack of good support or playable support under this character is what's going to stop him. We don't get Frigid, and I think Frigid is so important for this character. Edo 1. I think Edo 1 is a fine pick. This move gets speed, and then just stealing the enhance. One of the best. I actually think that he might be a good pick. Having access to response, destroy a foundation in this enhanced step or flash this move is incredible. The question is how do we kill people? And I think that Ida can figure that out because of the +3 speed on whatever he wants. And how do we survive? -3 speed on whatever he wants. I think that this might be where Ida 1 actually gets to shine. Yeah. I think that this character is totally fine in this format. I think there's enough water clog to make him work, and +5/+5 is nothing to sneeze at in this format. He has access to his own uncommon or common or whatever that card's called, like water pump or whatever, hydro pump, who knows. And that card is insane. That card is incredible inside of a limited format like this. If it hits, commit cards equal to the number of cards in their pool, and then just like +5/+5 on the next one. Oof, feels very good. Feels really, really good. Man, Death Arms is interesting. I think Death Arms is probably a fine pick. I think Chaos has enough 5 diff moves that are good that I think playing this guy is good enough. And I think Destroy a Foundation, commit 2 of my opponent's best moves is also good. I like Death Arms in this spot. Death Arms Wallop is one of the best cards in the format. Yeah, I think that I'm happy with where Death Arms is. Shigaraki. Shigaraki's nuts. I think Shigaraki's really, really good. I think the Foundation Destruction is fantastic. I think the answers to the Foundation Destruction doesn't really exist. If I touch you, I get to burn you. It's great. You just got to figure out the touch. I think this character is very, very good, and I don't think that he needs a lot of extra stuff in order to make him work. The big thing that he's missing out on is just breaker blocks, but I think that you can figure out how to make do. Asui. Asui is interesting. I'm gonna think for a second. So with Asui, you don't get access to her best move, her best offensive tool, excuse me, which is Tongue Smack, but you still get Frog Kick. You don't get Tongue Whip. You don't get things like Ice Storm. I think that this is probably a tough pick. There are plenty of... Man. I think you can play Asui, just like you can play any Water 7 hand-sized character in this format, just because like the water symbol is so nuts. But it's certainly going to be tough. I think I would actually rather play something like Todoroki 1 over Asui. I think there's just like too much I think there's just too much stuff. Extendo Bracer Asui is so wild. Interesting. HD Philosophy, Bakugo's still bad. Bakugo is very good in the regular format, but this is common ground. Also, welcome to the stream. Aoyama 1? This character's great. I don't know if anybody saw Unfun Friday last week, but this character beat the absolute brakes off of me. Absolutely mollywopped me. This character has access to his best tool, and that is HD Philosophy. Thank you for the follow-up. That is Tight Lipped. If the character finds Tight Lipped on 1, it's over. He has a throw that goes and fetches him Tight Lipped. It's over. This character is good. This character's biggest issue is what attacks do I want to play to put stuff on. But like under Earth and Life, he just like has a ton of options. I think that you could take this same Life deck and slap it on Aoyama 1 and just absolutely clock people with it. It's very cool. It's very cool. All Might. Huh. What does this All Might do? So we get access to a bunch of 6s. I think this All Might... I just don't know enough about how All Might 4 works regularly to give like a good opinion. So I'm going to say tough pick for now, but giving like +3 draw a card to every move is like good, right? I just don't know if those cards have to be ultra rares. Now I'm going to put them in this because I suspect they have to be ultra rares. Kamui Woods. We're going to change that. Kamui Woods. I think I'm going to put Kamui Woods up in fine. I feel like this character wants a lot of draw cards, and I feel like promos aren't getting us there. Could exist here. I'm not going to count him out. But I'm gonna put him in the fine pick just cuz. Air has latent skill. It doesn't, and that's my issue. Is it doesn't have latent skill because this is a common ground tier list, and I'm not allowed to put starter deck cards in my deck, and that's the issue. I think that this character might just be an incredible sideboard character, so that's why I'm gonna leave him inside in here. I think good saying all your throws get -1 damage is great, and all the throws get +1 damage if they block. Yeah. Nezu. Nezu's interesting. I actually like Nezu a lot for this. I think Nezu being able to steal some games by being like, oh, I would like this card now. Discard, redraw. Boop. You couldn't deal with this before, so I'll hit you with it again. Or selectively going and finding pieces might be just good enough. I think the issue with Nezu might be his symbol spread. Yeah, I like Nezu. I think Nezu in this kind of a format is probably where he thrives, of like filling your deck with every common or uncommon option that you could want, and then just like going and pitching and finding the pieces that you could need. Yeah. Fourth Kind. I mean, Fourth Kind is one of those characters that I think is always going to be just a fine pick. I think the only issue with Fourth Kind is he doesn't have passing, right? But we get under 2 of his symbols, we get access to things like calling for backup to just like get our hand size. Yeah, I think fourth kind is fine. That once per game can be really devastating if used correctly. Yeah, I think fourth kind is a fine pick. I could easily see him dropping to this. It just depends on how much you think passing the torch matters. And my opinion is I don't think it matters that much, but I think that when fourth kind has passing, he's borderline unfair. 34 health is like an insane amount. All Might 3 is of course a good choice. Drawing cards and giving stats on all your moves is incredible. It's so good. We get access. We don't have to worry about doing exclusively punches. We have a bunch of Gran Torino moves under the good and air symbol that are good enough to play. I think this character combined with this character's support is just like, it's fine enough to make it work, even if we are losing out on Midoriya 1's stuff. Ectoplasm. I actually like Ectoplasm a lot, and I think I'm in the same idea of like, this is where Ectoplasm's time to shine is. I think Ectoplasm's giant bite detention is actually not very good. I think that Ectoplasm clones in Ectoplasm is actually insane. Getting to play 3 extra 6 checks, 3 extra 0 mid blocks, it's very, very cool. But do other characters of him count as promos? If they do, that's a cringe rule. If they count as promos, the format's broken. Like, what's the point, right? Think about like, I'm going to leave it as I'm allowed to play extra Ectoplasms, because if not, there's no point to play the character. Actually, just say that you can't play any of these characters. I think this is like, this is the only time he's good. Yeah, I agree, Luffy. This is super cool. It actually makes me want to play Ectoplasm. That's crazy, right? I actually want to play Ectoplasm instead of Denki. Huh. Yeah, somebody should ask, you know what? We're live. Somebody should ask a Jasco employee. Somebody should ask somebody right now. Go bug somebody. I'm obviously not going to do it. Cementos. Cementos is insane. The earth symbol has too many throws, and he just gives them a schmillion damage. You just kill everybody. Cementos is nuts. You get a bigger hand size. You don't get blown up on turn 2. This character's nuts. And under the earth symbol, you can just whatever. They've answered it already, it seems. What is the answer? Is the answer no? Snipe. I don't think Snipe can do it. I think Snipe needs bonus stuff. I think Snipe needs things. Any character in deck or as a starting character? I think the answer is yes. Yes, it does count as a promo. Or yes, I'm allowed to play it. Allowed to play? Hell yeah. Okay. Let's get back to it. Snipe. I think Snipe is a tough pick. I think the ranged options being so limited as they are, I actually, man, I'm in kind of the same boat here. I think just like the really, really good option of just playing Meteor Shower over and over again is just like what Snipe wants to do. But I think there's probably some things that Snipe is allowed to do under other symbols. I don't know. He's somewhere between these two. So I'm gonna put him down here because I've already got so many fine picks. I don't know. I'm also just like a well-known Snipe hater, and so I just have to keep that rhetoric up. Ojiro 1. Ojiro 1 is so interesting. Flip a foundation for +3 damage is a good exchange rate. Once per game, make a thing unblockable and you can't do anything about it is good. If you block my move, you flip one of your foundations is good. My issue is flip a foundation worth it to make these moves good? I think my answer is that this character might have a real chance because he's not just getting blown up on turn 2. Right? This character actually looks really, really fun in Common Ground under all 3 of his symbols. Like, just like if block do a thing is like very cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think this character is very, very cool. I think he's fine in Common Ground. You go all in on Earth, flip your stuff. You're right. You're right. Yeah. It's interesting. Shoji. This character is hella viable. If you want to play Shoji at an event, this is the event to do it at. I think that Shoji is and I hate to say this, a better version of Toga. To the point where just having Shoji here makes me want to do this. I'm not going to do that, but it just makes me want to do that. This is a better pilot for the things that this character is doing. It just is, right? In form, pay 3, go grab the thing that heals you. Incredible, right? Go pay 1 and go find my all-out attack so I can start healing my life back. Incredible. This character is nuts. If I was being a real tryhard, this is one of the characters that would be very high on my list. Very high on my list. And this character does not give 2 shits about this guy. Nuts. Absolutely insane. Mina 1. Mina 1's interesting. I'm gonna leave it down here for now. Mina 1's interesting. Mina 1 having so little health might be fine. Mina 1 getting to... I mean, she plays the life throw package as well. She has access to the water package. This is a tough spot to be in, for sure, for sure. I'm almost thinking that, like, maybe this is, like... It's probably a fine pick, right? How lucky are you? That's the question. Are you lucky? My real question is, how does she kill people? If it's not just the throw package, and if you do the throw package, there are just 2 contenders that are better, maybe even 3. So, like, there's the real question, right? Mount Lady. Mount Lady. I think Mount Lady's probably a tough pick. I think the reason that she's a tough pick is because, like, she's not very good outside of, like, her promo block add the card. And that's what you want to do. And then, like, what is she wanting to spend that momentum on besides her own ability? Like, I think if you can figure out how to survive long enough to get her fully online, maybe it's worth. But I don't know. Maybe you could do, like, I don't know how many void throws there are, but that might be, like, an option of a thing that you can do. I don't know. My brain is saying that she's probably either between tough or fine. I don't think she's bad because, like, you can play the deck, right? It's not like All Might 1 where, like, I think the deck is unplayable, or Bakuga 2, the deck is unplayable. Hatsume is like the definition of, like, you just can't play it, right? Denki 2. I think Denki 2's in the same boat as her. I think that his own character card limits what he does just a little bit too much. I think having access to lack of access to, like, things to spend that momentum on that matters is a big deal. I think if you were like, yo, you have to take and put one of these in a different spot, I would put him down here. I think I'm going to. I think that Denki 2 just, like, doesn't cut it. Enhance, discard all my momentum, commit your whole board, like, would work if he was, like, a blank 7-hander, but it's a blank 6-hander. It just doesn't. And his life's too low. Yeah. Not there for me. Common Ground Mandalay. So this is interesting because Mandalay's cool, and she gives +2 to every move, but the first move she plays, which is good, right? That's like almost Ojiro good. But is it good enough? She doesn't get access to her own cards. And I think that they might be... I think she might just be... Sorry, you can play this deck. I don't think it's good at all. But I think you can. It is possible to play. You probably should exist down here. Like, you don't get access to, like, the tip of the iceberg tactics, which are like... Oh, let's play Stat Strike. Let's do Stat Strike stuff. She still gets Create Capture Net. I don't think it's good enough. I don't think it's enough. All Might 2? I think All Might 2 is a fine pick. He loses out on a little bit of throw stuff. And he loses out on the draw power of the deck, right? But I think that there's an All Might 2 deck that is really, really good because, like, in this format, I think you have to block a bit. I think he just melts 7-handers, right? I think he just, like, absolutely trashes them. The real question is, like, what do you do versus, like, a Nomu, right? Where you don't have any real defense either. And Nomu's defense is easier to play and not as harsh. Kirishima 2? I think Kirishima 2 is a great pick. I think Kirishima 2, even with the nerf of his enhance only being once per turn, insane. I think committing and saying that I don't have to full block Nomu is, like, great. I think that he just, like, gets hard shut down by this character. But besides that, I think this character is still incredible. It's still absolutely wonderful. I think all three of his symbols are hyper playable. This is Pixie Bob. She has a momentum out on her face. She has the chaos symbol. She works with allies. I think that the main way that you play this character is as a gigantic explosion deck of, like, under fire total resource denial, right? But if you're playing the deck as the way that you're supposed to, I think it's probably a tough pick because, like, the best allies she has access to just, like, aren't good enough. I think you can play the character, but I just don't think it's good enough. Ochako 2. Ochako 2 is probably fine in the same way that Mineta 2 is fine. I think this character just kind of like does the thing that she wants to do. If you can find an uncommon move that is fast enough that you can give speed to, that you can lift back up, so like under the Death and Chaos symbol, just like that, not Twisting Is There Inferno, the Blue Flame Palm Strike or whatever that card is, the 5 mid for 3 that slams you a momentum, right? So you do that, and then it's a 7 mid for 3, so you poke him for 3, you pick it back up, you slam it back down, and then it's a 7 mid for 3 that has powerful 3, so you give it the 3 damage for the 2 momentum that you just stole. So that is 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. 7 mid for 3, then 7 mid for 9. This is good, right? Gargantuan Battle seems sweet. No Choco 2, right. That is good. As long as you can find the moves that happen afterwards, right? Yeah, I think that's a totally chill deck. Yeah. Momo 1, probably unplayable. I think all the cool cards that have momentum out or keywords are probably just like rare, unique cards, right? Like that's the thing she wants to do. Like none of the things. Yeah. Ragdoll. I'm gonna put Ragdoll in fine pick, and the reason is like, if there's a super sick common or uncommon that you want to go grab, she gets it. And like having access to like a little bit of draw power, if you have access to a little bit of draw power, it just like makes the deck good, makes the cards. Makes your deck good, and like the +4 speed, -4 speed is like worth it. There's a lot of cute things that she gets to do, and she can't lose the game because of bad checks, right? Or unknown bad checks. She used to lose the game because of bad checks, but she should know what checks are coming. I think she's fine. Ida 2. We lose out on a lot of the really good bombs that Ida wants. We lose out on his own high engine kick. We lose out on like indiscriminate shock as a bomb. So my question is what bomb can you give +4 speed? If you can figure out what bomb you can give +4, +2, I think this character is probably a fine pick. I think for the time being, I'm going to put him down in tough, just because off the top of my head, I don't know what that bomb is under these 3 symbols. right? It might even be something along the lines of like a forceful blow deck, right? Where I am trying to play a forceful blow, give it +4 speed, give it a +2 damage, powerful for it out. Like that might be the answer under like order. I think that card has order. It might have order. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. It might. Aoyama 2, not playable. I think the only way I've ever seen this character playable, honestly, is from Black Ace playing under the death symbol, I think. Just playing a bunch of Bakugo 1 starter deck cards. And just slamming a bunch of mids and just crossing his fingers and hoping it works. Otherwise, this character is like just actually doesn't do anything. Actually just doesn't do anything. Even with set 3 having like done nothing but like mid moves. Tiger. I think Tiger's great. I think Tiger's a totally fine pick. I think Tiger getting to draw cards on every move. I think Tiger giving a bunch of speed and damage is fine. The issue that you have to have is like, how do you find the speed and damage? And under 2 of his symbols, you have access to classman introductions, right? The Moneta card, 2/5/2 mid block. If your opponent hasn't blocked this thing, it gets +1 speed. And so in Tiger, that says +1/+1. And then so like you just slam 2 out and it's +2/+2 on every move. And like we know +2/+2 on every move is good. And so like Tiger gets just have that. And they have to hold cards to block you, or else like you just like run away with it. Asui 2. I think Asui 2 is probably in a fine pick position. She loses out on Tongue Whip, but she's got access to 1, 2, 3 characters kits worth of stuff. She's probably fine. The deck is still playable. It just loses one of its bombs, which is Tongue Whip. I'm sure you can figure it out. Sure you can figure out what to do with it. Smash Might. You lose the Smash cards, right? Like you just lose Detroit Smash, and like you need that card in order to make this character work. Right? You lose Detroit Smash, you lose Texas Smash. Like, what do you do? How do you care? I'm not going to talk about this guy. Recovery Girl. Recovery Girl is probably insane in this format, yeah? Just, like, play forceful blow dot deck and just, like, absolutely murder everybody. I think she's kind of in, like, this same idea of, like, what Nezu does, but she, like, actually has an in-game plan. One of the big things about this character, though, is that she does share all 3 symbols with Cannon Blast, and we don't get that in this format because it's a promo card. It's one of the DLC cards, and so like you have to find a different bomb that you can give powerful and just like slam to the moon. And I think she loses a lot of her damage reduction with lack of like rigorous training, as well as the Destroy for -1 damage card. What is that card? Self-sacrifice. Like she loses self-sacrifice. She loses calling, or not calling for backup. She loses passing the torch, right? Under 2 of her symbols. Like there's some wonkiness about this character. But like if your opponent can't get the job done, this character might just run away with it. I don't know what this character does. This character's best move is just like Reciprocal Burst, right? Like it's probably in tough. I don't know. I actually just don't know enough about Selkie. It's just not a character that I even remotely care about. Look at me being a bad content creator. I just don't give a shit about this guy. I could not be bothered. He's fine. He's fine. Kurigiri. Kurigiri's probably sorry, he's not fine. He's tough. I think he's tough. Kurigiri could be up here. I think the biggest issue is actually Kurigiri's gonna be down here. You don't get access to dissolving, right? That's a promo. You just don't get that card. And I think that's part of the reason that Kurigiri like Kurigiri with dissolving and Kurigiri without dissolving is like so totally different. So totally different. Uobami. Again, Ectoplasm Clones Uobami seems cool. The Earth variant is out because you don't get Texas, but you do get Full Cowling Grasp or whatever that the Midoriya card was reaching towards the screen. You do get that card. That card's like insane in this character. I don't know. She's probably fine. I mean, she's probably in the same tier as the rest of these guys, but losing Texas is a big deal, I think. Also, the ability to block and then pick it back up at the end of your turn or whatever that is, or like play the attack, pick it up. I don't remember. Her getting the extra card is cool. I think there might be just enough to do with her. Lois, Copy Harden can do fun things with her. Hell yeah. Yeah. I think she's probably just fine. She's probably not as bad as these tough picks. Midnight. Man, I am such a sucker for. I want Midnight to be way better than she is, but they killed Stronger in Darkness. So I'm going to put her in fine. And I'm only going to put her in fine strictly because I don't know what the deck looks like anymore. All in Void, like I'm pretty sure you wanted to use like a bunch of cool Eraserhead 2 stuff, but like you don't get those cards. And I don't know what Chaos looks like. Yeah, I don't actually know how this character plays anymore without Stronger. I know that's lame to say, but like I just don't get it. I don't get it. Prism Mike 1? Prism Mike 1 is probably still a bad pick. He's just a bad character. Sato 1. Sato 1's great. Sato 1's absolutely insane. Everything that you wanted to do with this character, you just do with this character instead, as long as it's not on the... My lights got turned off. As long as you are not doing, as long as you're not like doing the order symbol, I think like these are they're just the same character 9 times out of 10. I'll just do this and then do that. Thank you so much. You're wonderful. You're so great. And then my last character that we get to talk about is just Toru. Toru 1. I think Toru's probably a tough pick. Again, I actually just want to put her down here. She's in 13 tier. How do you win the game? I get how you can stop the game from happening, but how do you win? So we'll put her down here. All in all, let's go back over the idea of what the list is. Right? Is there anybody that I want to like really truly move? I think I actually really like everything that's happening with this. Like you can make some arguments of like maybe something along the lines of like this character might be too high or maybe not. Honestly, maybe not high enough. This character might be too low. This character could be too low. I think that Gran Torino probably could end up pushing up to a fine pick depending on the cards he has access to. Same thing with Tetsu. Same thing with Ingenium. But I think I'm actually super down with my my bad picks tier. Probably this, truthfully. And I want to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. But with that, you guys, let me know your thoughts on the list down in the comments down below. I'm gonna put I'm gonna make a thread about Common Ground in my Discord and leave it up for the next week so that people can be talking about it. I'm gonna put my tier list of what I think so we can get a conversation started. But yeah, let me know what you guys think the best Common Ground decks are. Share your ideas, whether it's in the comments down below or live over on Twitch or over on my Discord. I'd love to hear you guys. Yeah. With that, thank you much for watching, and as always, I wish you well.